Hi there, I'm Andy from Email Love. In this short demo, we'll give you a good idea of how the Email Love Figma plugin works. We'll look at how to add components, how to customize those components, how to test your email, and how to export it to your ESP. Okay, let's jump into the demo. Okay, we're now in Figma, and I'm going to walk you through the process of building an email with the Email Love Figma plugin. So here is the email we are going to recreate. This was already built with the plugin, but I'm going to show you the steps I took to build this email. Okay, so let's jump back into the other tab. And the best way to build out an email is really to begin with the pre-built components. There are 40 components in here. They cover most of the layouts and the use cases that you would want for an email. And so really the first thing we need to do is add a frame. So I'm going to add my frame here. And this is, think of the frame as like the container for your email. And so now I have the frame, I'm going to add my header. And then I'm going to add a text block with a button. So it has a heading, some text, and a button. I'm going to add an image. And then we had, let's see, we had some sections with kind of an image and then some text underneath it. Actually, no, that's wrong. We had a heading first. Okay. Okay, heading, and then you can copy these as well. So if I select the wrapper, I can just Command V, Command C, Command V, and copy that. Let's begin here and work our way down to the bottom. Okay, so in this template I had a white background. Now to customize the design, you can use the plugin to customize things like mobile styles. You can set the overall kind of background color, content colors, links, text colors, text style. That can all be done within here, but initially I'm going to get my content into the email first, and then we can update all this stuff. So I'm going to upload a new image. To do that, I'm just going to double click on the actual image. That's going to bring this up, and then I can find my folder with all the images. Okay. Just going to increase the size of that. Okay. Going to change the background color. So if I select this section, we can see on the right hand side the color changes. So right now it's a gray. I want it to be white. By selecting the column, I can also see it has padding of 8 pixels above and below the logo. I might want to increase that to say, let's say 15. Okay. Now I also want to update the color. I'm just going to jump over to this file here. And let's see, we want to update this background color. And we also want to change the text to be white. So again, using all of Figma's tools to do this. And the button was centered. So you can see here, if I select the button, you can see here with the auto layout, it is left aligned. If I click here, I can easily center align that. I can also change, if I actually double click on the button, I can change the corner radius. So if I wanted to have maybe just like 10, I could change it into more of a square button. I'm going to stick with the rounded button though. Okay, so now we are going to copy our text. And again, I can update the text and the text style in here in Figma. I am going to center this text. And I'm also going to update the button color. Okay. And I'm going to update again. Okay, so you can see here, this text is a little bit too long for the button. So what I can do is I can select the button, and then I can very easily make it wider. I can also make it larger, like that. I'm also going to change the color to black. Okay, there we go. So it's starting to look right. I need to update this image. And so what I'm going to do is select the image, and then I can update that. So there's a few different things you can do with the images. You can have the image fill the entire space that it's contained within, or I can fit. So in this case, I'm going to have it fit. And what I can do is I can actually change the background color. This is a transparent PNG image. And so you can see here, I can change the background color. Now you might have noticed in this version here, I have a white background color here, and I have a pink background color at the top. What I've done is I've split this image into two separate slices. So this top slice basically has a pink background. This bottom slice has a white background. So that's how I achieved that. So just to show you how I did that, I will pull in the image. And what I'm going to do is basically split this in two. So let's actually just copy it. So we have two versions. Okay. So I'm going to split it around here. So that's the top half. And then I'm going to split the bottom half. Okay, so that should line up. Okay. So I'm then going to export those two images. Okay, and then I'm actually going to copy this, and then I'm going to update the image. Okay. Now there's a lot of spacing around this image. What I can do is I can just select the wrapper. I'm going to change this to 139. I need to change. I need to make sure the columns and the sections in the image all have the same height. Okay, 139. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom image. Okay, and what was the height of that image? It was 213. And pro tip, you might have noticed on the left-hand side, rather than changing the wrapper and the section and the column, what I did with the bottom image was I just selected the actual image, and then I updated the height, and it updated the column and the section and the wrapper for me. So it's a little bit of a faster way to do that. And then what I'm going to do here is select the wrapper, and then I'm going to change the background color to white. Okay, and so now if I preview this message, if I go to dark mode, you can see here, looks good, still looks good on mobile. And so yeah, if you want to optimize your emails for dark mode, you want to have as many transparent images as possible. Okay, so that's looking really good. I then want to, let's see, update this text here. Download our app, and then I'm going to update the logos here. Okay, I can select the image, you can see here, and then I'm going to hit this little button to constrain the proportions, and I actually want this to be a little bit smaller, so I'm going to make it 60 pixels. I'm going to remove the star. So anything I want to remove, I can just basically select it and then hit delete, and then I can do the same thing for this image here. Again, I'm going to make that smaller, remove the stars. Okay, This is starting to look really good. Now I think there's a bit too much padding between this section and this section. And so the padding is typically on the column. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the column here on the left hand side for the download our app section. And then here you can see in the auto layout section of Figma, I can reduce the padding at the bottom of that section to 0. So I think that looks a little bit better. The other thing that I don't like is the padding on these sections is currently 50. I actually want to increase that to be 100. I want this to be more center aligned. I'm going to do the same thing here. Now that might cause a problem on mobile. We'll check that out. It might be too much padding on mobile. So when we preview it, we'll have a look, and there is a way to update the padding on mobile devices. Okay, this is starting to look really good. Now let's see here. Okay, I had an image and then some text and then kind of the footer. So for the image, I'm actually just going to add another header logo. So I'm going to go to the header section, and I know this isn't the header of the email, but I can get creative and reuse these sections. I'm going to update the background color and the logo. Okay. And then I don't like the padding. The padding is not quite right on here, so let's see, I want this to be more like 50. Maybe 50 is too much. Let's try 40. Okay. And then I'm going to add some text. I'm going to update the background color and the text color. And then the padding up here is way too much. You can see here the text actually has 16 pixels. If you want, you can also just drag this up to reduce the padding. And then this has 35 pixels. Let's change that. Let's center this text. And again, I want more padding. There, that looks better. And now I'm going to add my footer. In this case, I don't really want this top section. I don't need the logo, and I don't really want the social icons. So I will remove those, and then I will just update this color here. There we go. I think there's a bit too much padding at the bottom of this section. So let's change that to 18 as well. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's preview the message. Okay, so a few things to look at here. We have the size of the message. It's 64 kilobytes, so it's not going to get clipped in Gmail, which is good. We can preview it on desktop. So let's take a quick look. I think it's looking good on desktop. I can also look at it on a mobile device. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. This has a lot of padding around it now. And so what I can do is I can go back, I can select a section, and then I can click on mobile styles. Actually, it shouldn't be a section, it should be the column. And so the column in this section has 100 pixels of padding on it. What I can do is I can apply mobile padding, and I can reduce that to, let's say, 40. Okay, so let's take a look at how that looks on mobile. Okay, you can see the difference here. This is what it looks like with the mobile specific padding, and this is what it looks like with the regular padding. Okay, so I think I prefer the regular, I prefer the mobile padding, so I can go through each of these and I can apply mobile styles. You can also apply mobile styles to images and text blocks. So if I want to, here's an example, if I want to hide this text on desktop, I can come in here and I can easily do that with that button. I can also change the font size, the line height, the letter spacing, and the alignment on mobile as well. The other thing you can do is when you select the entire frame, you can update the styling. So this is like your design system within the plugin. Right now it has kind of like it's not quite black, but it's a almost black color. I actually just want that to be completely black. In dark mode, I want the text to be white, and I want the color of the links to be white as well. This will work on iOS devices. And then you can also update your fonts. So I might want to change all of the fonts. You can see here that I just updated every font in here to Calibri. And then if someone doesn't have Calibri for some reason, you can have a web safe fallback of Arial. Okay, so now let's preview this again. Okay, let's have a look in dark mode. So in dark mode I made it completely black. It looks really good. And then let's just check on mobile. Yep, looking good. Once you're happy, you can then click the export button. You can host the images with us, so we can host the images for you rather than you having to re-upload them into your email platform. And you can also send yourself a test message, or you can download the HTML, the Mailjet markup language, and then currently we have integrations with Klaviyo and MailChimp, and we will be adding new integrations very soon. So that's pretty much the high-level demo of how this works. You can, customize the email however you want. I would say I can replicate most email designs. You just want to make sure that you are working within the constraints of the plugin, and I would highly recommend beginning with the 40 plus pre-built components that we have already built and designed for you. So that's the end of the demo. If you do have questions, if you want to use the plugin, we do have a Discord community, and you can also reach us at support@emaillove.com if you have questions or want to chat. Thank you.